Hello and welcome back. This week I wanted to talk to you about my favourite hair dyes. Now, I have in passing mentioned the brands I like using before, but I feel I've never actually done a proper video on semi-permanent dyes. These semi-permanents are different from traditional dyes that you mix with a developer, in that they do not contain any harsh chemicals, so you are pretty much free to use them as often as you want and leave them on your hair as long as you want, but they will only show up as bright as they're intended on bleached hair. Now, I have currently 3 different brands here. What I would like to do is go through them in my order of preference. I cannot completely say I like one brand better than the other. It really depends on what you want and what you want the colour to do for you. Also, from different brands, certain dyes are better than others. So some colours may stick around better or show up more vibrant than other colours from a different brand. But if I have to pick one favourite for longevity, I think the award goes to Special Effects dyes. Now, Special Effects is, as far as the dyes that I've used, one of the most long-lasting semi-permanent dye that I know, to the point where it's sometimes difficult to remove. So if you like changing up your colours, this is maybe not the best choice, but if you prefer a colour to stick around and you like a certain colour and you like it to be that way for a long time, like I'm talking several months, then Special Effects is your choice. I have heard that Pravana is also pretty good for this, but I have not personally tried it yet. Now, from Special Effects, my favourite colour probably would have to be deep purple. It's really hard to see in a bottle, but it is a very dark sort of violet purple. It's a beautiful shade that you only need a tiniest amount of. You can mix it in with a bunch of like conditioner and it will be fine, you know. Other colours that I have repurchased are Virgin Rose. This is a really lovely magenta colour, so somewhere between pink and purple. Gorgeous shade. Wore this on my wedding day. If you want a really deep kind of indigo blue, Blue Velvet is very nice as well. A friend of mine asked me, like, do you know a really, really deep sort of blue that isn't too out there but is gorgeous? Yeah, this is the one I recommended. I actually gave her a bottle because that is one thing that is the downside of Special Effects. They seem to have some problems with delivery. So for the better part of last year, the Special Effects dyes were not available for purchase anywhere, and they were going sky high on eBay, and it was ridiculous. So I really hope they have sorted that out now. There's still some shades I still can't seem to get. At the moment I have one of 2 other colours from Special Effects. That is Napalm Orange. It's the brightest freaking orange you'll ever see. It's like oranje boven for our Dutchies. Yeah, it's really bright orange, but it's nice in combination with other colours in a rainbow or something. And I also have Pimpin' Purple at the moment. The colour I also really like from Special Effects, but I don't have at the moment, is Hot Lava. Hot Lava is a orange shade that is sort of on the border between natural and unnatural. And I really like that colour for that reason, because I needed to go back to a sort of more natural shade to do my internship. And that is what I picked. Now I put it over a rather purple base. And initially it was really, really bright red. And then it faded to this sort of orangey yellow colour. And it was really nice throughout the whole fading process. It was lovely. And it kept me going through my about 3 months of internship. So I was pretty happy with how long that stuck around as well. I think that's pretty much my favourites as well from Special Effects, the ones I have. I have not tried them all. One more about Special Effects, by the way. If you want a almost permanent pink, I hear Atomic Pink from Special Effects is near impossible to remove. So if that's what you're after, definitely go for that. Now, if you want a colour that is slightly less permanent, and sometimes I do like changing my colours a bit more rapidly, for that I like Directions hair dye. Now, Directions seem to have changed their formulas a bit in the past year, and some of the colours I don't like as much as I used to, and I'm still sort of searching for replacement colours, and that's where the Stargazer comes in. But my favourites from Directions have always been turquoise. Now this is one of the ones that has changed a bit and I'm not quite sure about anymore. It's a bit greener than it used to be, and a bit darker it seems, so I don't know. Still a bit on the fence about this one. Cerise is definitely one of my favourites. I currently have that in my hair here. It's that darker pink. It also borders a little bit of magenta, although it's a bit pinker than the Virgin Rose from Special Effects. I don't know if you can actually tell by looking at the bottle there, but gorgeous shade, lovely sort of like between magenta and hot pink. A colour I've always really liked from Special Effects as well is Plum. Now this is the one of the ones also that they have changed, and I hear from some people that they've bleached it out and it turned green, which is really strange to have a green undertone in a purple. So yeah, I'm not quite sure, because the problem is I used to know all these, like how they would react if I mixed them with one another, and now I'm not too sure. Although it does seem to be quite a nice colour, so I may have to give it another go on its own. From Special Effects I've also repurchased Fluorescent Glow, which is a bright yellow, which I quite like. I don't currently have it, I'm out of it. Also Atlantic Blue, if you want a mid-toned lighter blue, that is one of the best ones I know. So yeah, Atlantic Blue from Directions, definitely one to go for. Other than the ones I've just shown you, I still have also some Spring Green. This doesn't stick around fantastically well. Like I said, it does depend on which colour you choose, how well they stick around. This is not very long lasting. I also have Mandarin. I used it in one of my rainbows, I think. Also not such a fan of that. Usually I actually try mix my own oranges and greens, and they tend to show up nicer. I also have some Tulip here left. I mixed this in with some red before, but I haven't actually tried it on its own. It is a lovely shade though, it's very pinky red. I must try this at some point when I'm sort of more in the warmer shades of the colour wheel again. I also still have some Pillar Box Red, which is a bright red, lovely kind of bang red. And I also have some Alpine Green left, which is a green bordering on teal colour. Also quite a nice shade. Never tried it all over, but I think it would be quite nice. My favourites from Directions, definitely Turquoise, Atlantic Blue, Cerise and Fluorescent Glow. I have by no means tried them all because there's quite a few colours, but I do have my favourites. Oh yeah, there's one more that I like, Carnation's Pink, which is this lighter pink that I have in my roots currently, which is quite nice. Here at the back, by the way, I have some of that turquoise as well, but it is fading a little bit, so it's not that clear. And here at the front, actually, that is a mixture of all kinds of stuff, but the thing that's mainly sticking around is the blue velvet from Special Effects. Okay, like I said, because Direction was changing some of these formulas, I bought a couple of Stargazer colours. And one of the ones I've been quite liking is the Azure Blue. Now, one thing that I find incredibly annoying about Stargazer is their packaging. It's next to impossible to get this out, and once you snip off the top it doesn't reclose, which is a bit annoying. It's quite thick, so you have to squeeze real hard to get it out. I don't apply it like this, I usually just put it in a container and then use a brush to apply the dye, so yeah, the packaging, no, not really my thing. Also, It may be me, but I don't see the color on the packaging at all, only on the box, which is really annoying because once they're out of the box you cannot tell what it is, and if you want to repurchase the same color you have to remember which one it was, and if you have 3 or 4 sort of like turquoisey colors, it's really hard to tell. So definitely, Stargazer, will you please start putting the names on the containers themselves? I have in the past written it on there with markers, but it's just such a pain. As far as the dyes go, they seem to be around the Directions longevity sort of mark, the ones I've tried anyway. I find the Azure Blue is quite nice, and the UV Turquoise is also quite nice. But they're not rapidly becoming my favorite thing. I have said in the past that I do not really like Manic Panic very much. And the reason for that is Manic Panic is definitely a colour that you have to change a lot. Usually it only sticks around for me for about 2 weeks, where Directions is up there around 4 weeks. And I just find it a pity if I just dyed my hair in a lovely sort of colour combination and it fades that quickly. It is a bit of ruined work. Now I must say, as with all like dyes that I've used, there are colours that I like better than others. And one colour that I really like from Manic Panic is Electric Banana. That yellow is fantastic and I would definitely repurchase. Also for the colour I like Purple Haze a lot. It's a lovely shade, it's also sort of a magenta. Can you see a theme here? Purple Haze, Virgin Rose, Cerise. I may like magentas. Like I said, I have not tried that many from Manic Panic, but the ones I tried, I wasn't so much of a fan of. So yeah, I would gravitate towards special effects and Directions generally. Dyes I definitely like to try. Pravana is definitely on my list of would like to try, and I also haven't tried Adore or Crazy Color, so maybe I should give that a shot as well. One that I've also tried actually is Paint Box, the colour that I can't remember the shade. They put that in my hair in the Kinky Copper's hairdressing salon. It's not the most long lasting, it's, well, I guess it's somewhere around the Directions mark. It's okay. So I hope this video was informative for you and you enjoyed. If you did like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel and check out my other social media, and I'll see you next week. Bye everyone! So, if I had to pick colours for a rainbow, the colours that I would go for, I generally like a pink as my red, but you could definitely go for a red. But if you go for red, go for a pink toned red rather than a orange toned red, I would say. I think Cerise is a very nice choice if you want a sort of jewel toned, but you might want to look for a more hot pink if you want a truer sort of colour. Flamingo pink is quite good for that as well from Directions. So that could be your pink. Now, usually what I do is mix my pink with my yellow, and that would either be Electric Banana from Manic Panic or Fluorescent Glow from Directions, and mix that with my pink to get an orange. But if you had to choose an orange, I find Napalm Orange from Special Effects does stick around really well. It is really bright. If you want like in your face neon orange, this is the one for you, but I would tone it down a little bit by mixing a little bit of either yellow or pink into it. Then for the green, now greens, I have not found very many greens out of the jar that I like very much. Now maybe it's just due to the ones I've tried, but what I usually end up doing is picking up a yellow again, one of the ones mentioned before, and a blue and mix that, and usually I would go for turquoise for rainbow. So yeah, a blue, the turquoise is already sort of in between green and blue, so if you mix this with yellow you'll get a really nice green, and if you mix the turquoise with a purple, it tends to go quite more on the blue, sort of dark blue side. Now if you want both a sort of like bright green and a bright blue, then go for a turquoise to mix your green, and maybe put a small strip of turquoise in, and then next to that go for a mid-tone blue like Atlantic blue from Directions, which I currently don't have. And then as for a purple, Pimpin' Purple from Special Effects is a really nice choice. You could also use Deep Purple, but Deep Purple you would definitely have to dilute a bit because it's really dark. Plum from Directions is also nice, and that gives you your full-on rainbow.